Fearmonger you, but I was an assistant principal, I was a middle school teacher, and I was a high school teacher. And I need you to know America is in a literacy crisis, and they're not making a big enough deal about it.
Hey, welcome back to Black Press. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe.
Now let's get to it.
Let's bring the teachers to the front.
Now we
All
bring
the
somebody
teachers.
else to the front of the front of the congregation.
Yeah.
Oh my! And then now you're trying to hit hard because you're talking about teachers. You know that's a sore spot. Let's see what you got. What we got here?
Fearmonger you, but I was an assistant principal, I was a middle school teacher, and I was a high school teacher. And I need you to know America is in a literacy crisis, and they're not making a big enough deal about it. Our children cannot read. Our children cannot read, let alone writing a paragraph, let alone comprehension. They cannot read. They do not know how to sound words out. They were not taught that. And if you're wondering, well, then why does my kid just keep getting passed on to the next grade? Because that's what they're doing now. They're not holding the children back. They're moving them on. They're graduating them, knowing that your child is illiterate. Our next change makers, our next lawmakers, our next voters cannot read. I beg of you, take the tablets and the cell phones away. Practice letter recognition and sounds and reading with your child, please. And I'm gonna keep it a stack with you. They been knew. They been knew the babies couldn't read and didn't care. You know when they started caring? After the pandemic. Them test scores plummeted. First of all, test scores for reading were pretty stagnant for the last decade. But after the pandemic, they plummeted. And now they were like, oh, we got to do something about it. Columbia University, I'm looking at you. You fully backed balanced reading. Fully backed it. Teachers College was 100% pushing out balanced reading. That's why the kids don't know how to sound things out. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, please go do some research. Now they're trying to push science of reading. That's the way, and if you're like, what's science of reading? That's what we was doing. And by we, I'm talking about millennials and older. The little you know, when we were sounding words out, yeah. Now they're trying to bring that back. And if you're like, wait, they stopped doing that? Yes! For years, they stopped doing it. I'm going to say this last thing and I'm going to be done. If you have the opportunity and the privilege, right? Because taking off from work is a privilege. You need to start, and by you, I'm talking to parents and guardians. Start going to these PTSA meetings and these district meetings. They are passing so many policies and they're banking on the fact that parents and families are not going to show up. You need to know what those policies are and how they're affecting your children, particularly Black and brown children. They know families can't or won't show up. You need to be more involved with your students' schooling, their life.
Okay, what you got? I mean,
Yes.
I mean, she's right.
Yes, she is.
She is right, but the background on it is
They say.
because it's not just at the board, the school board level. It's at the state and
It's all
mostly
over the
at the
country,
state level.
really.
But the states are supposed to be running their school, running their curriculum the way they want to. And the problem is the education board and the district superintendents. Those people are beheld to elected officials who have never been in a school. So they are just trying to make the numbers because that's what the elected officials are hitting them over the head with. Every elected official just want to say, oh, we got the highest numbers, we got the highest numbers, we got the highest numbers. But guess what? You got the highest numbers of students moving to the next grade, but your numbers of students that can actually read moving to the next grade are far lower.
Yeah.
But all they were ever worried about is the number of students. They would want to see students moving to the next grade instead of seeing students being held back because they need more remedial education, because that makes them look bad. Nobody wants to look bad.
That's why they came up with that No Child Left Behind.
Yeah.
But I think it's not only the school, the district, the board, it's also the parents.
It's definitely the parents. But
That's where the foundation of learning starts.
yeah.
So if you have your child and you're starting them for school at like 5 and 6 and they can't
Mm-hmm.
read or at least write and scribble on the paper, what are you doing? Like that, you have 5 years to prepare. Your child should at least be able to know
Right.
how to hold a
But
pencil
then
and scribble on the paper.
it's still, but then anytime you blame the parents
Mhm.
or say that the parents have some level of responsibility, there will always be an immediate response of, well, I got to work. I got to feed these kids. I don't have time to teach them. I don't have time to do that. But then know what that creates? It creates a perpetuating cycle of kids having kids who have to work in order to feed those kids. And we ain't never going to stop it.
In that sense, you have a time. If there's 24 hours in a day, you have time. Even even if you set aside 5 minutes, all right, I'm gonna show this baby how what the letter A, B, and C is, what it looks
Yeah,
like.
but mama tired. She tired. She came home
You
from
can
work.
lay in the bed
She
and
been
do
working
that. You ain't
16
gotta-
hours. She
You ain't gotta do
tired.
that.
She ain't got time to be exactly.
You can make what's this thing called, spaghetti, and take the sauce and make
Mm-hmm.
make letters, or get they even made it with SpaghettiOs,
Mm-hmm.
the alphabets and stuff like that. There's
But she said,
different ways to do it.
but she said a really key point is she
Mhm.
said, I beg you, put their phones and tablets down.
However, I don't agree with that because there's a lot of the thing about the
Yeah, but
tablets and stuff is what they have access
Two,
to.
exactly. And nobody, even if you give them the tablet and if you don't
Nobody's
stand over there
monitoring them.
and watch them,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
They're gonna go on
And
YouTube.
exactly. You know what? I can monitor whether or not you're writing on that paper or not.
Mm-hmm.
I can walk right past you and see if you're writing on it.
Yeah.
You can easily click a different screen when I walk past you on the tablet.
It's limiting the
And then
access
you got
that they
parents,
have.
and then that's at school. But what about at home? There's no monitoring. Kids are on the tablets, the cell phones all day.
Yeah,
we
but
had to get
as
it.
parents, you do be
we-
tired. You just be like,
We
all right,
had
here, take
see.
that.
Oh,
Go
now you
sit
want to
down.
give them.
No, I'm just playing
See?
advocate. I'm
No, you
seeing.
playing advocates.
I'm
against
looking at
yourself
both.
then.
I'm looking at both sides because I can see where there's a deficit, and I can see why the deficit is there, and
Yeah.
it's because we have these long work days. Like you have to go in order to make a decent paycheck. You have to work 40 hours in a week,
Mhm.
sometimes more, and that doesn't include the prep time to get there, the prep time to get back.
Mhm.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Like 40
But
hours plus everything else.
you
that
know
you
what you don't have to do?
What's that?
You don't have to buy your child a cell phone.
You don't.
You don't have to buy your child a tablet.
You don't.
Boom. That's it. You don't buy your child a cell phone or a tablet, and you
Mhm.
don't buy cable, or you don't give them access to a Fire Stick.
Right.
They're gonna find a way to keep themselves entertained, and it's only gonna be a book.
They might find other stuff.
Like what?
Well, myself personally, I love reading. I love everything.
They gonna find a book, or they gonna go outside and play.
and get into stuff. Climb fences,
Mm-hmm.
drop off their bike, break their arm.
That
do
builds
something
muscle.
Crazy.
That builds endurance. That builds resilience. Only resilience they got nowadays is playing the game,
roasting.
playing the or playing the level again until they beat the top boss.
Yeah, that and
Dying
roasting.
100 times, crying about it, and then finally keep playing though.
Well, it is true because a lot of times, not a lot of times, but when you go outside, you don't really see kids playing on the
Mm-mm.
block. It just be dry and dusty.
And then think about it. Remember, our kids' school had to send out a message asking parents to get their kids not to keep the phones and be playing on the phones, because
During
the
class.
principal had to send out a message because the kids have their phones in class and it's
Mhm.
making them distracted. Why are we buying our kids phones as if that's going to change anything for their protection and safety? It does not.
I think it does.
How?
I don't agree.
I've spoken to entire teachers that say it still don't have it. So
that's a teacher.
Exactly.
But when they getting home and getting off the bus, a lot of when in
know what they got?
But listen,
put an air tag on it.
Nope. In most districts, in most districts, they have where they have the younger kids coming out of school earlier than the older kids, which is stupid. But that's how they have it. So the parent is at work. You got to make sure your kid is in the house at least. Get off the bus.
You can do that
walk
with Alexa.
You can, but Alexa can't track them to
AirPod.
Get to the house.
Don't buy them a phone. Buy them an AirPod. The Apple Pod. And then attach it to their book bag, and then when they come in the house, they can call you on Alexa.
That I'm saying that works too. However, it's not efficient.
Why is it not efficient?
Because you need that contact to.
Okay, I'll give you another one. Get them the phone. Keep the phone at home. They get home, they call you.
That's like a house phone. You might as well have a.
We don't keep house phones anymore, right? So have a phone there at the house for them to call you when they get into the house. See, the problem is we want to give all these excuses why
it's not an excuse.
Why our we have all these reasons why our kids need to have a phone, but then also say that the teachers in the school ain't teaching them enough. But you sending your child to school with a distraction.
You can,
and you're not there to control them.
You can limit that though.
You can
if you really want it being limited. You can take the
It's still on
like the time,
but then it's still you still say it still boils down to what you said at the beginning. It's the parents.
Well, yeah.
It's the parents it's the kids having kids too early. Now they're parents and they can't keep. There's a reason why most of the time the most successful families didn't start having kids until their late 20s because they had established a type of income, secure income, a household.
That's the right way of
support
doing
the kids.
Of course.
But we keep doing it the wrong way every generation, and then saying I gotta work because I gotta take care of and feed these kids. But then when are we gonna stop it? When are we gonna stop the continual cycle of having to work to feed the kids because we had the kids too early before we could establish a career and a household to raise them up in? We're not, because we're going to keep giving them access to all the things that contaminate their minds and keep them distracted until they go out to find somebody to lay down with because they're bored, because the phone was not enough for them. I don't know. Anyway.
Well, let us know in the comments.
Yeah, what you think? Yeah. Is it the school? Is it the parents? Is it the government? Is it, I think,
society?
It's society.
Social media,
it's all
everything.
of it. All of it is interacting in order to continue to keep one special race down. And it's us. Because we don't stop it. Anyway, that got a little tense.
It did.
My bad. So tell us what you think though. Put a like if you like this discussion. Put a comment. Tell us what you feel. How much you can't stand me because I be saying this stuff. It's okay. My wife can't stand me at least once a day, so I'm good, bro.
Please like, comment, share, and subscribe.